Welcome into this week's Volleyball Roundtable. I'm Carson Fields, joined alongside Trevor Booth and Bo Wilkinson, and it's needless to say that the Devils have struggled lately in this whole season in Pac-12 play. They are 0-16, and they just lost both games this weekend to Oregon and Oregon State. Trevor, what did you see in the Oregon game? You covered that one.
Unfortunately, like we've seen a lot this season, the Sun Devils had a lot of mental breakdowns in the Oregon game. You start off with the first set when they take a 9-6 advantage, and then all of a sudden, in a close set, Oregon goes on a 6-0 run. And then you also look at the second set where the Devils were up 4 points at 10-6, and then they have advantage at 22-20. Oregon calls the timeout. You think they're gonna notch up this game, and then all of a sudden the Ducks go on another 5-0 run. They played really good team volleyball, and the Sun Devils didn't put their foot on the gas in order to close points like that. They could have easily been up 2-0. So it was just really disappointing to not be able to see them close out some of those sets that they had the advantage in. Like Coach Carlos Moreno said, they just didn't put their foot on the gas enough in order to close it.
Bo, what did you see from the Sun Devils against the Beavers?
Yeah, for the first time this season, I think we actually saw this team fight back. When they got hit in the mouth, they weren't afraid to actually punch back. That could be due to senior night, but just like in the Oregon match, they weren't able to close out those close ones. But we did see an incredible match from Aluma Okara, who had 26 kills.
And now the Sun Devils play only 4 more games the rest of their season, and this weekend they travel to the mountain schools and go to the Rockies to play against Utah and Colorado. What do you expect from the team the rest of the year, and what are their chances to win some games? We'll start with you, Trevor.
Well, I think if you look at these next 4 games, these are teams that the Sun Devils match up really well against. We saw against Mary Kate Marshall against Oregon State on Saturday night that the Sun Devils can key in on a key hitter for our team. And we saw that against Adora Anai as they take on Utah again. She hit .148 against them last time, only 12 kills, and they took her out of the game actually. So the Sun Devils, if they can do that similarly to what they did against Utah here in Tempe, they should be able to find themselves in a competitive match in that one. You look at Colorado, when they played them here in Tempe, they had 18 hitting errors, and that took them out of the game. If you take those 18 errors away, they're right in that match. You look at Washington State, they've also had a lot of struggles in the Pac-12. They've amounted some wins of late, but they're a team that the Sun Devils don't really have a lot of weapons to worry about when you think of the teams at the top tier of the conference. And then Arizona was their first match of the year when they played them last time. Their passing has gotten a lot more crisp. As athletes and as teammates, they've grown a lot, so I think they should be able to put up a much better effort in that game. Won't be able to be blocked as much. I think they'll be able to dig a lot better in that match.
Bo, what are your thoughts?
All right, yeah, I agree with everything Trevor just said. And for the first time, the Sun Devils are going to play 3 non-ranked teams in a row since conference play started. So that's going to be very important. After they get past the Utah match, I think all 3 of those matches are winnable.
And the Sun Devils will face off against the Mountain Schools this weekend, as I mentioned, and they will play against Washington State and wrap up the season against Arizona. That's it for this Volleyball Roundtable. For Trevor Booth and Bo Wilkinson, I'm Carson Field.